Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Did you refer to her as little lady, quote unquote?
Yes, but I call girls sweethearts and little ladies quite often in my
Fair enough. Do you recall saying, if you want to make some real cash, ... I got a job for you, or something to that effect? In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. Stop. Is that true? I don't want you to understand. I want you to overstand.
Yes, sir.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. That's not gonna happen. Not up in here, not today. And boom goes the dynamite.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. John Stanton claims a waitress was angry about his tip and says she posted a revenge video that cost him a major client.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
Mr. Stanton is suing Anna Silva in the amount of $24,000. Ms. Silva is countersuing in the amount of $5,000.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. Mr. Stanton, sir, you're suing Ms. Silva in the amount of $24,000. Ms. Silva, your cross complaint alleges you're entitled to $5,000. I'm going to start with you, sir. Prove your case.
Yes, Your Honor. I was having lunch with my colleagues, celebrating the close of a sale. I'm a local real estate agent.
You're an agent, and you were celebrating at a lunch venue that Ms. Silva worked at.
Yes.
Yes. How many were there with you, sir, in your party?
3 total.
3, including the gentleman here?
Correct.
Sir, come on up, since you're going to be a part of the conversation at some point. And you are Mr.
Thompson.
Mr. Thompson. All right, so it's you, Mr. Stanton, you, Mr. Thompson.
And Jerry is a colleague that was representing the buyer.
Miss Silva, you ended up waiting on their table.
Correct.
Okay. And what was it that created the drama?
Well, that particular day, we went in, as said, to celebrate at about an hour's time of lunch.
Okay.
And the first thing that we noticed was Miss Anna here was either elusive or not attentive to us, but kind of ignoring us.
When you say not attentive, what does that
we sat for quite a
mean to
bit,
you?
and we waved at her when she went by 2 other tables. And when she came to us, she kind of like rolled her eyes and hand on hip, and I'm just like.
As soon as you had interactions with her, your first recollection was her rolling her eyes and having a little bit of a tood?
We said, Miss, can we get some drinks here?
Okay.
And
Mr. Thompson, you were there.
Yes, I was.
Is that consistent with your recollection?
Yeah, we were just all, it was just business as usual. Everyone was polite. Everything was, we were doing, we were being good old boys. We were having fun, but we were
being good old
at
boys?
lunch. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And were they being good old boys?
Your Honor, the first thing that happened when I walked up to their table was this man over here said I looked tired and asked if I wanted to sit on his lap. So yes, I might have rolled my eyes a little bit.
Stanton or Mr. Thompson?
Mr. Stanton.
Do you recall that coming out of your mouth?
I said, you look tired. And I said, maybe you should sit down. I didn't imply on my lap or anything like that.
What do you recall saying first to Miss Silva other than this whole issue of you look tired?
We were basically, I was trying to get her attention.
Because this is a person that's taking your food and beverage order.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And
did you
I
order beverages?
We did.
Were they alcoholic?
They were.
Okay.
I ordered 3.
What was on tap?
Martinis.
Martinis.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Thompson, did you engage in a good martini now and then?
Oh, yes, I do.
Nothing wrong with a good martini.
No.
All right. How many martinis do you recall serving them martinis?
It was 6 martinis for the table, but I do suspect...
For 3 people?
Correct.
So on average, each person had 2 martinis?
Yes, they did look...
That doesn't seem unreasonable to me.
Not to me either, but yeah, the behavior, you would have thought that they drink a lot more.
Okay, and what makes you say that? How long have you been waitressing, being a server?
I've been waitressing for around 5 years.
Okay.
So
And you have a sense of, just from your background and life experiences dealing with patrons, where
Correct.
their alcohol sobriety levels are, and whether or not you should say, well, maybe you don't need any more. Or...
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
And
it's my understanding they seemed intoxicated a little bit by the time they sat down.
Had you all been consuming alcohol prior to arriving at the establishment?
We had maybe one drink in the bar while we waited for the table.
Okay, that makes sense to me. While you're waiting for your table, you're at the bar, you guys have some cocktails, you get to your table, 2 rounds of martinis for each. Okay, I got it.
Coming up on America's Court.
All right, so 20%, what is that?
$50.
$50.
Okay.
You didn't leave her a 20% tip.
No.
How much dollar-wise did you leave?
I left 0.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy-nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of John Stanton, who is suing Anna Silva for defamation.
What was your issue with Ms. Silva?
This is a twofold issue. Again,
Let's start with one.
Right. If this just came down to the really poor service and her...
So your first issue was the service was poor.
Very poor.
And what are you basing that on? What aspect of her performance would you rate as being poor?
There was us sitting and waiting, and actually me miss to get her attention.
Waiting in terms of an unreasonable amount of time was taking place, and you saw her moving back and forth?
She dealt with 3 tables in front of us.
Why were they having to work so hard to get your attention?
I was doing my best, even though they were being so rude to me. I was still coming up to their table and
Okay.
doing
And what was it
needed to
that
do.
they were saying to you specifically that you would categorize as being rude?
There was a lot of demeaning language,
Such
you know,
as?
little
Don't give
lady,
me generalities, give me specifics.
little lady,
Somebody referred to you as little lady.
little lady.
Okay, and who do you remember, if you can?
Mr. Stanton.
Mr. Stanton referred to you as little lady. What else did he say to you?
Girl.
He referred to you as a girl.
The main comment that really got to me was that he said if I wanted to make some real cash, that he had a real job for me, which was very suggestive. And
What made it suggestive?
he made gestures, like
Gestures in what
inappropriate
sense?
gestures.
Okay, so he was like, I can serve you, and like sort of that way?
He was trying to get me to be more than a waitress at that point.
Got it. Sir,
Yes.
did you refer to her as little lady, quote unquote?
Yes, but I
Okay.
call girls sweethearts and little ladies quite often in my
Fair
circle.
enough. Do you recall saying, if you want to make some real cash, ... I got a job for you, or something to that effect?
This is not my reflection. If this is what she heard, I think one of us, not me, but one of us at the table may have said, if you're not happy in this job, maybe you should look for something that pays better.
Well, 2 of the 3 people are in front of me. So, Mr. Thompson, do you recall yourself or the other gentleman, Jerry, making a reference to maybe you should get a real job and make some real cash, something to that effect?
If there was something in that order said, but
Okay,
we were
so the
true
answer is
gentlemen.
yes. Somebody at the table made that remark. You're done with the meal. You all are leaving. You give them the bill. You decide you're going to put something on the bill, some language.
Correct.
Take me there.
Okay, so a tip, which is to ensure promptness, we certainly didn't have. I decided to leave a helpful tip instead.
Okay.
And so where the tip goes,
What would you say the total bill was? Somewhere in the neighborhood
it
of what,
was in the
Mr. Thompson?
250 range.
About 250, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, so 20%, what is that?
$50.
$50.
Okay.
You didn't leave her a 20% tip.
No,
How much dollar-wise did you leave?
I left 0.
You left 0.
Correct.
Okay. You didn't make the decision to just put 0, you put it verbiage.
Correct.
And what did the verbiage say?
It's along the lines of when You're serving us. You're lucky that we came in here for a business lunch. You could have some respect for us.
Okay,
Was
that's
my
the
tip.
language you put. Do you recall what he said?
Your Honor, I have the receipt right here.
I'm gonna have Deputy Thomas actually read what's on the receipt.
Oh.
What does it say, Deputy Thomas?
It's a bill for $257.42, 0 tip. Tip: next time, show some respect when businessmen show you some attention.
All right. It's not the first time you've probably received something to that effect. What's the $24,000 represent?
Within a week of leaving the restaurant and having this horrible experience with Miss Anna here, I get an email from a client who is closing a $400,000 house with me. And I brought the copy of the email here,
Okay. Yep.
which you're welcome to look at.
What's it say?
And
It's pretty lengthy, but I'll read it. Hey, John, please do not enter my latest request to bid on the Washington property for $400,000 and rescind all prior bids. I'm sorry to pull out at this late stage, but I was alerted to a video of a girl recounting her experience with you at a restaurant, and I no longer feel comfortable doing business together. I will be seeking a different realtor. And then on a note it says, as a personal side, I think you may want to do some soul searching, my friend. My daughter is also a local waitress, and this is certainly not your best look.
You used your power. It's like you're going to learn today.
That ended up being what happened. That wasn't my
Why did you
initial
decide to do that?
intention.
Why not just let it go?
What I did was post my experience on my personal TikTok as a means of venting. It's something that I usually do. I talk
Did you
about my
name him?
life. I did not name him.
Did she name you?
in 3 different ways, Your Honor. First of all, she took a picture, which is a total violation of my privacy, I feel, of my receipt, which has Jay Stanton on it. Second, she said a realtor in her TikTok, which is, I also brought a copy of the TikTok.
3?
ones I learned. 3, I have a catchphrase in town.
Which is?
You all come home now, you hear? And she ends her vengeful video by saying that.
Coming up on America's Court.
Watching that here right now, the way you had presented yourself up to this point, that's not your best look.
May I just say?
No.
Okay.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of John Stanton, who is suing Anna Silva for defamation.
It's all set up? Okay, let's
Your
take
Honor, if I
the...
could submit this 5,000.
I want to hear the video.
Okay.
So let's hear it.
Okay, story time. I just finished serving the most disgusting man. Him and his friends came in, they were rude to me all night. They were making disgusting comments that just left me completely humiliated. As soon as I went over to take their order, this pig looked at me and said, "Come sit on my lap, you look tired." Him and his friends kept harassing me all night. At one point they told me that if I wanted to make some real cash, they had a real job I could do. If you know what I mean. Oh, but don't worry, they left me a tip. I might not be a fancy realtor, but I'm a good person and I work really hard. And if you ask me, getting into business with this guy will probably leave you with little to nothing in your pocket. Y'all come home now, you hear?
Watching that here right now, the way you had presented yourself up to this point, that's not your best look.
May I just say?
No.
Okay.
So,
Okay, here's what we got. You're countersuing for $5,000 because of what?
Because he called the restaurant to complain and got me fired, and it took me 2 months to get a new job.
Do you feel as though the restaurant acted inappropriately by firing you?
Yes.
Then why
absolutely.
aren't you suing the restaurant?
I guess I should do that next.
Coming up on America's Court.
And the bottom line is, you ended up losing a business deal because someone saw her venting.
$5,800 people commented.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of John Stanton, who is suing Anna Silva for defamation.
He, as a customer, said, I was not happy with my service. And then on top of it, this person goes on social media and puts me on blast. And they probably took that as, Anna, why did you do that? We can't allow that. That makes total sense that they would take that position.
You know, it's at the end of the day, it's freedom of speech. I've spoken about what happened at my job before.
So people confuse, so let me disambiguate what freedom of speech is talking about. It does not apply in the private sector. It's public freedom of speech in terms of press and religion and having an opinion about things. And from a government standpoint, you can't argue that a private employee has to allow you to say anything you want about a customer without there being any ramifications or consequences. You may have a counterclaim against someone, but it is not Mr. Stanton. There's no law that says he can't complain to a restaurant over something that their employee did. Your counterclaim is dismissed. We got to deal with, though, your initial suit. And the bottom line is you ended up losing a business deal because someone saw her venting.
Yes. 5,800 people commented, identifying me clearly within the first few hours.
So folks started putting on Twitter and all the different social media, Snapchat. I mean, folks have a way of saying we're going to do some investigating and we'll find out who he is. Okay.
There's a lot of comments.
He's the only realtor I know that says, y'all come on home now, you hear? Wow.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program.
So when you have a situation with slander, it has to be a false statement. She's saying, this is what I experienced. Your testimony doesn't veer that much differently from her testimony. Because the bottom line is, the information that she's conveying, she felt it was true. So the issue would be, is she telling a lie? That is her truth, that is her opinion. Those are elements that you have to sustain. You can't. So based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel's going to come down in favor of the defendant in terms of your claim. Your case is dismissed. Your case is dismissed. That is the order. We're done here.
Judge Ross has ruled. Both cases have been dismissed.
You did a lot of damage to me. I hope you grow up.
I'm not sorry, and I'm glad karma finally caught up to you.
Okay, step outside.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.